Shalom. Do you remember what shalom means? Yes, peace. And which language? That's a tricky question, isn't it? Hebrew, which is spoken today in the land we know as Israel. Now, this is a special assembly which we do every single year. And I believe it's one of the most important assemblies that we ever do. And the reason why we do it is for you. And that I'll come back to a little bit later on. I'm sure many of you, particularly you older ones who will have experienced this time and time again, know exactly what today is. Yes, it's Holocaust Memorial Day. And every year there is a different theme that comes. And the theme this year is Be the Light in the Darkness. And you see I've got a lovely candle here shining in our darkness in the hall at the moment. But of course, the people that they want to be the light in the darkness are all of you. Every year I talk about the Holocaust and what happened over 70 years ago during the Second World War, and 70 years is a heck of a long time ago. But even today, there are so many important things, perhaps even more so than there has in the past. And last year, we noted it was the 75th anniversary of a specific event. It's the 76th anniversary, obviously, this year, and on the 27th of January, hence Holocaust Memorial Day. And that was the day in which the Allied troops entered the first concentration camp and discovered the terrible things that had been going on during the Second World War. And the thing that I'm often thinking about when we do these assemblies and when I'm planning them is just how low can we go as people? Now, there's always traditionally a little film show. And I've been doing this for years. In fact, I've had children who left the school years ago, and they still talk about this. Obviously, it resonates. So I'd like you to sit and to listen and to watch.
matter. I'm only one person, destroy me completely, then throw me away. If my life were important, I would ask, will I ever die? But I know the answers lie far from this world.
$11 million people. 11 million people sent by the Nazis into concentration camps to be murdered. How low can we go? That is pretty low. And why? Because the Nazis didn't like the way those people were. A lot of them, the majority of them, were Jewish. They had a different faith. But people who were black or gay or disabled also were sent to the concentration camps. To us, it seems impossible, horrific, and there are people actually out there who deny it even happened, which is a terribly dangerous thing. How, though, could it have happened? Well, it all comes down to one word, really. It's called brainwashing. That man there, you've heard of him, Adolf Hitler. He managed to take over a country and to convince enough people that they were superior to others. He managed to step by step change laws, infiltrate the police, the judges, the juries, the courts. Every little step. It wasn't one big thing. It was little by little by little by little. And the result of it was the Second World War. And those 11 million people, they weren't soldiers. That's on top of all the soldiers who died. And yet it happened. So the important thing about today, and this is why we do this every year, is how do we make sure it never happens again? Well, I suppose the thing we have to do is always find the truth and knowing who to trust. You'll have heard of things like fake news, trolls, people who spread conspiracy theories and all sorts of things out there. We live in a free world, a free country. That's what we fought for, freedom of speech. But we've got to be clever and ask ourselves, what really is truth? Who or what do I believe? And our responsibility starts in school. We've always got to stand up for what's right. And I know a lot of you aren't here at the moment. But the joy about our school is that people are happy here. You at home want to come back here because you feel safe. And that is because we stand up for what is right. If there was something wrong going on, would you stand up and say, stop? I believe you would, actually. In fact, I know you would, because you do. You tell me if something's not right. You watch out for people when things have been said which are unfair or unkind. But in the Second World War, a lot of people didn't. They said nothing. They pretended they didn't know what was going on. In some cases, they didn't know. But they allowed themselves to be brainwashed. We all need to love and respect all human life. We're all equal. How many times have I told you that? Everybody cares, everybody learns, everybody matters. Not just me or you or three people in the corridor. We all matter equally. And that is the most fundamental thing. That is the spirit of our school, and that should be the spirit of our world. And so if we are in school, if children all over the world treat each other with respect and kindness, then we've got nothing to worry about. Because children, you grow up and you turn into adults, and then you will make the decisions that will make sure that those things never ever happen again. But the key thing is, we cannot forget, even 76 years afterwards, we can't forget. We've got to remember, because unfortunately, history can repeat itself. And therefore we learn and we make sure that it doesn't. And that's when I came back to what I said at the beginning. This is about your future and your happiness and your safety. And as long as we do this, I am sure that that will be secure. Now, in this assembly, we always sing our hymn, Shalom. Now then, when we did this in lockdown, because I had to find a version with some singing on it, the words are slightly different, which you won't have a problem with. Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, shalom. God's peace be with you, God's peace be with you, shalom, shalom. And then on the second verse, we change that fourth line, so it says, till we meet again, till we meet again. Now, we always do this as a round, but we're going to do it as a two-part round. And Mr. Britton's going to come and sing the second part for us. Okay, so we're going to do it twice. So in the classrooms, you could be very, very clever and divide yourself into two groups. When we get to the round, half of you sing with me, and half of you sing with Mr. Britton. And if you're at home, and there's more than one of you, have a go. See if you can split, see if you can do the round. Get Mum or Dad to join in as well. You can always rewind. But shalom, remember that word? Peace. It's beautiful.
Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, shalom. God's peace be with you, God's peace be with you, shalom, shalom. Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, shalom. Till we meet again, till we meet again, shalom, shalom. Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend. God's peace be with you, 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 shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend. Till we meet again, till we meet again, shalom, peace be with you, God's peace be with you, shalom, shalom. Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, shalom. God's peace be with you, God's peace be with you, shalom, shalom. Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, shalom. Till we meet again, till we meet again, shalom, shalom.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Britton. Okay, a desire, a pledge that we never accept discrimination against anyone, but always welcome those in need. Now, this goes back to last year's assembly. We focused on Anne Frank. You remember her? She hid in the attic with her family in their home in Amsterdam. And she wrote a diary through all that, which has become one of the most famous books ever read. Because of her humanity, she ended up being caught and sent to a concentration camp and died. But let's just look at these words. It's difficult in times like these, she wrote. Ideals, dreams, and cherished hopes rise within us, only to be crushed by grim reality. It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet, I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are truly good at heart. Everyone has inside of him a piece of good news. The good news is that you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. What is done cannot be undone, but one can prevent it from happening again. One can prevent it from happening again. That's what Anne Frank said. That's what we're doing today. And so to our words that we share every Holocaust Memorial Assembly, and if they mean something to you, stand up at the end, because this is our pledge. Welcome to our friendly school. Share with us our golden rule. We say, welcome everyone, join our lessons and share our fun. We don't think it's kind to lie, or hurt, or make friends cry. We'll never call you names. You are welcome in our games. Children here will lead the way. Grown-ups listen when we say, hatred is a horrid word. Stand up. Make sure it won't be heard. Shalom. And there it is. Everybody cares, everybody learns, everybody matters, and that means everybody. It's not rocket science, is it? Everybody. So, once again, you are the light in the darkness. Now, often, well, always, in fact, we leave this assembly now in silence, and we reflect on what we've seen, what we've heard, and what we wish for. But today we're not. We're going to go out to a joyous, happy song, because this is good news. I know it feels different, but this is an important day because we are still saying, yes, we can prevent that ever happening again, and we can celebrate that. It is still a happy day.
Jesus